Tanzania, located in East Africa with a population of about 53.73 million as at 2020. Here are the top 3 mega projects that will skyrocket the economy of this African country on completion and if managed well. Within Africa, New International Airport, Dodoma. The project is part of a program to expand the East African nation's infrastructure. It will be built in Msalato, 12 kilometers from Dodoma, the nation's capital city. It will include passengers terminal, runway, and related infrastructure. This project was approved on the 18th of December 2019, expected to be completed in December of 2024. The new airport project, which will take approximately 4 years for construction, will have a capacity to handle 1 million passengers annually and will have a runway of just over 2 kilometers in length. Funding package for the project comprises a $196.6 loan from the AFDB, $23.52 from the African Development Fund, and $50 million in co-financing from China's Africa Growing Together Fund, which the AFDB manages. Tanzanian Standard Gauge Railway. The Tanzanian Standard Gauge Railway is a railway system under construction, linking the country to the neighboring countries of Rwanda and Uganda, and through these countries to Burundi and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, as part of the East African Railway Master Plan. The new standard gauge railway is intended to replace the old insufficient and inefficient meter gauge railway system. As of August 2022, the first phase of this project is in testing. The second and third stages are under construction. These are expected to have termini in Dar es Salaam, Isaka, Rusumo, and Mwanza. The standard gauge railway system in Tanzania, in conformity with the neighboring Rwanda and Uganda, is designed to use electricity to power its locomotives. This railway is expected to accommodate passenger trains traveling at 16 kilometers per hour and cargo train traveling at 120 kilometers per hour. Up until February 2020, the government of Tanzania was using locally generated funds and short-term temporary loans to fund the construction of the first 2 phases of this standard gauge railway project. In February 2020, the government received a syndicated loan worth $1.46 billion towards the completion of the first 2 phases of the national SGR. The financing package has Standard Chartered as lead arranger and the export credit agencies of Denmark and Sweden as major funding sources. The combined contract value for the first 2 phases is $2.35 billion, with $950 million worth of funding to be organized by the Tanzanian Ministry of Finance and the remaining $1.45 billion by Yapi Mekes. The East African Crude Oil Pipeline, also known as the Uganda-Tanzanian Crude Oil Pipeline, is a 24-diameter pipeline that is under construction between Uganda and Tanzania. The pipeline, planned with a capacity of 260,000 barrels of crude oil per day, starts in Buseruka, South Kuti Ohio District in Uganda's western region, and in a general southeastern direction to pass through Rakai District in Uganda, Bukoba in Tanzania, loop around the southern shores of Lake Victoria, and continues through Shinyanga and Singida to end in Tanga, a distance of approximately 1,410 kilometers. The total cost of the project was reported at $5 billion as of August 2021. Of the total, $2 billion will be raised by the owners of the pipeline, who include Total Energies, China National Offshore Oil Corporation, Uganda National Pipeline Company, and Tanzania Petroleum Development Corporation as equity investment. The remaining $3 billion will be borrowed from external sources. Once completed, the East African crude oil pipeline will be the longest heated crude oil pipeline in the world. What other project is going on in your city or country? Do what to comment down below. Follow us on Facebook at Within Africa. Thank you. Within Africa.